Hi, I'm Destiney, and I was part of Sojourn at Rhode Island College. I remember coming out of Willard Hall. I was a freshman at Rhode Island College. It was really early in the semester too. Just walking down and I'm just seeing like a small group of people playing volleyball, but they have a lot of energy and they're shouting and just like they want me to come over and play volleyball with them. Me and my friends were Christians and we loved going out and we loved that freshman, aspect of things, just getting into college. But that's all we saw. That's all we were surrounded by. That was the normal.
So I first met Destiney when we were at Rhode Island College and we started playing volleyball in order to meet students. So we were trying to get to know students. We started just playing volleyball every single Wednesday, and sure enough in the beginning this crazy girl and her friends come up to play. And we immediately got along, we were joking around and got to know her really well. Her and her friends came back every single week. We started forming this great community and it started to develop this group that we called 703. So every Wednesday night, 7:03 p.m., the same group of students, about 15 people or 20, came together and had fun every single week.
And then when we saw Sojourn, it was the only place where it was completely different. And when people follow Jesus, even if it's just a couple people, there are only a couple Christians in Sojourn when it first started. Christians looked different, and they looked different at college. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't have that community. It was just really important just starting off in college, just to have a place where I could be myself, a place that accepted me, a place where I could have fun, get away from my schoolwork for a little while, and just make friends. I quickly learned just the religious and spiritual aspect of that and why they were so welcoming and why they did what they did, and that they're loved by Jesus, and that's why they love.
So we ended up sitting down with Destiney. She was asking us a lot of questions about Sojourn, what we believe, that we don't just like to have fun, but what do we actually value? And so we started telling her a little bit more about what our group does. And so we said, man, let's grab coffee. We'd love to just share with you the bigger vision of what we're trying to do on this campus. And I still remember sitting there and I had this plan of what I was going to say and how I was going to go. And she completely threw me for a loop every single question. So she had so many questions about faith and who this Jesus guy was and why we believed. And I kept having to back up. And eventually I was like, Genesis 1, this is what God is trying to do in the world. And this is why we're here. And pretty much got to just kind of line out like the entire Old Testament, New Testament, why Jesus had to come. And it was maybe the biggest mess of a conversation I've ever had, and yet one of the biggest ways God shows up, because I still remember at the very end of this conversation feeling like sweaty and being like, this is not going where I want, I'm so far off my notes. Me asking like, do you want to be a part of this community, and better yet, a part of a kingdom of God that's trying to move on Rhode Island College? And she said, absolutely.
When I decided I wanted to be baptized and I wanted to follow Jesus, I was just experiencing just a total new season of my life. Something I never experienced before, just like a happiness I never experienced before, an acceptance I never experienced before. And it was just so life-changing. And I remember getting baptized by Tyler at Bridgepoint, and I remember so many people being there, and we had dinner afterwards, but also I remember my father being there. And that was really special to me. He went to church for the first time in a long time. And he was just so proud of me. I remember he cried. And that's one part I really remember. And it's just really special to me. I pray every day that my family grows closer to Jesus. I get to work with Jesus to accomplish that. And just for them to see my faith and my passion for Jesus. Growing up was actually really tough for me. I lived with my mom until I was, I think, 8. But my mom kind of got addicted to drugs, and I got taken away from her and my 2 brothers at a young age. So then I had custody, my dad had custody of me. So I feel like I didn't really have much of a childhood at that age, because we were living in motels and campgrounds and we were homeless, and it was really rough. I was taking care of my 2 younger brothers more than going to school. I was able to get reintroduced to my mother at 14 years old. And ever since then, we've been like best friends. So my mom started going to church with me, I think 2 years ago. She's just been struggling with jobs and places to live, and she decided herself that she wanted to start making better choices. And she recently shared with me too just the change that she's seen in me. And I just believe that it's our faith in Jesus that people can see, and I'm just thankful that she's seen something in me. She was able to hear God speaking to her at Bridgepoint, and being able to make that decision on her own to follow Jesus and to start on a new foot, making better decisions and just knowing what that looks like, and seeking help and comfort from a God who loves us, other than seeking comfort from things of this world. It's just been such a journey. She was supposed to get baptized 3 times and didn't, and things just kept getting in the way. So she finally decided, like, no, I have to do it as soon as possible. And I remember right before I baptized her, she quickly went to the back to get changed, and they were playing a worship song, and I just bawled my eyes out right before it happened, because it's just so emotional, and it's just so amazing to have the honor to be a part of that. And not many people get the chance to baptize their mothers. And after I baptized my mom, there was a lady who came up and just said how much of an inspiration it was, because she is praying for her mother. And that was just so beautiful. I was just praying that my mom would be baptized. But now I have all these people coming up to us and just saying how much it is an inspiration to them.
It's been amazing to just see the story that God has written, and He is the author of life, and He will continue to write an amazing story. It is my honor to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you for investing in the next generation. Thank you for investing in me.